Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So today's match for you is our finals from our locals here, me piloting my Commandramon build versus my testing partner who also made it to the finals with his MetalGarurumon X. Both of these decks are favored very heavily for this format because both are extremely fast and extremely consistent decks. In the format outside of Mulligans, we recently had a couple Ultimate Cups to go, or not Ultimate Cups, yeah, Ultimate Cups to go off of the Grand Prix to kind of give us an idea of what the EX3 format's going to look like. However, it's a little bit skewed because they use the Mulligan rule, which could drastically shape. I'm not saying Mulligan is good or bad. I'm just saying a format with Mulligan versus a format without Mulligan are just two separate formats, heavily altered between the two. So for a regular format without mulligans, I think these two decks are incredibly dominant. So seeing them go head to head in the finals is really great. And honestly, this is a great showing of these decks and what they are completely capable of, because literally it could have gone either way when we get to the end, and we'll see just what I mean by that. Literally, I'm pretty sure it's the final game shows exactly how breath close these two decks are compared to each other. Also, don't forget our new featured items we've got in our Etsy store for the winter season here. We've got our snow globes that you can get filled with great stuff there. Resin snow, so it won't go everywhere. It's in there pretty solid. You can hang this on, a tree or just kind of hang it wherever you want. As well as our new winter-themed memory markers. Here we've got the Yokomon, if it will focus for me here. Stop focusing on my face. There we go. And this is the poinsettia winter style here. Very, very cute. You're not going to find anything else like this out there, okay? So if you want a cute, adorable Yokomon handmade out of clay by my wife, definitely check our Etsy page in the description below for all of our new winters-themed memory markers, as well as some of our Battle Ready ink merch and all of our regular, normal themed memory markers as well, all handmade and hand-painted by my wife, Digimon. All right, so kicking this off here, we've got me playing Commandramon on the right there. Camera's a little bit shifted off, but hopefully it'll still be okay here. And then we're going to go into the blocker Commandramon with the 2-play cost Commandramon to pass turn here. Pretty solid start here. We're going to kick it over there. We see the Gabumon giving that DP buff, and then going into the Gabu X, just get an extra draw there. Just being incredibly memory efficient, and that's what makes this deck so good, is how just efficient it is at what it does. And goes into the Garurumon, and then digging here with the Davis to pass turn, decides to pick up the Garurumon X. So Commandramon here now debating which one to swing with first. Dies to the check, swings with the blocker here, does hit into a Hammer Spark, not the worst thing, pretty efficient at what they do. Plays the two drop Commandramon, putting themselves to 0, and nice ability here to do something 3-drop, because they've got the memory fixer anyway. You're not going to be able to choke them. And then getting that reboot with the Missymon is absolutely insane. Super strong here. But now they do have full combo potentially here with the Garurumon swinging in. No protection though, no battle protection. Very risky, and immediately hits into a Death X. Not what you want to see there. But yeah, just double checking. No battle protection. Ouch, big bummer. But, I mean, you can't really afford to waste any time against Commandramon because they will pummel you down insanely fast. If you're not going to put any kind of defense and they just get to slam bodies into security, you really much have to outpace them. As well as Commandramon has a lot of small bodies. They had a pretty good chance of surviving that check. Here we're going to see the On-Deletion Commandramon getting put in breeding area there, or raising area, and then using the Kazu there to draw one, trash one. Does die in security check. The vanilla here, though, will survive hitting into a Gabu. Very, very good value all the time. Blue is in a terrible position at this point. Just going to play the Pride Memory Boost here to reveal 3. Gets to play the Decoy Commandramon and trash the rest here. So that is lethal on board for sure. Not really much you can do about that. Popping the memory boost here. Yeah, I'm just going to scoop it up and go on to game 2. Commandramon just taking no prisoners there, going fast. Going first here again, we're going to see that Missymon, and then we see the on deletion Commandramon yet again. Coming into circulation here. Very solid stuff here. Not exactly the ideal target for a Missymon, but it is what it is. Hagirmon here on play. Trash 1 in hand to draw 2. Machine or Cyborg. Ditching the level 5 there. Tankdramon. Alright, we're going to see digging deep here. Going to pick up a Garurumon to go with that Gabumon that they've got in raising. Does have the Gabu X, which is really important, and then going to pass to the other player with the Garurumon, so setting up for some good plays there. Swings into security here. Will die on both checks here. We do get the on deletion effect. Immediately see a Commandramon. A little bit of a tech there with that Schwartz getting revealed. And but gets to play out the decoy Commandramon, so good hit there. You don't always get the hit, but I would say like 9 times out of 10, that Commandramon always gets a hit. Debating what play to use here, going for the Izzy here, so reveal 3, all black, gains a memory back, gets to pick the order, just going to leave it in the same order though. Here we're going to see the Garuru X now coming down, so they've got a full stack here of good stuff, of doubles of everything. Going to have the battle protection this time, which could, always be important, as we've seen. Swinging a second time there. Does use the battle protection, though, to protect against the Tankdramon. Here we're going to see the that's the X? Yes. So, yeah, I'm going to bounce to hand here. Has to have the I always get the 2 mixed up. Sagittarius mode and Where X. Because they have different stipulations of what lets them bounce and stuff like that. One has to have a blue tamer in play, and I think the other one has to have the Garurumon underneath as an inheritable. Going to swing here, though, for 2 checks with that inheritable from the Garurumon. No punish at all, so it already hit 1 secure, or hit 1 big body. Does have another protection, though. Has 2 level 4s underneath it, so it's still in a pretty good spot, I would say. Nothing going to be coming on the crackback here. Going to Digivolve for 4 into the MetalGarurumon here. Just has enough to gain 1 memory back, though. Well, has enough for 2, but the Izzy will just put him right back to 3. So here we're going to see that on deletion Commandramon coming down again in raising area. I guess if you want to protect it from getting bounced here. In a bind, though. Like, definitely in a bind. Blitz Omnimon could end the game on the following turn. Lots of things can end the turn. What is it? The X antibody option with the Omni X can go for game here, because that'll get to trash that security for free and then just get to check. So got to play it very cautious here on what the proper play should be. Just gonna have to shotgun out and pray for a blocker here. No blocker, gets hit, plays out the vanilla Commandramon and trashes the rest. So kicking it back over, only at 1 memory, but it's not like black has any sort of memory options that are going to be in security that you have to worry about, besides pride. But I mean, that's not something you got to worry about. So it goes for the swing here. Checks into the Iron Fisted Onslaught. Huge check there. Definitely needed that to try to stay in this game. So now Guru's going to have to start digging deep now at this point to try to get set up for more plays here. If they can set up for a double swing on the following turn, then they'll still be in a pretty good position. They're at 3 security. There could be a huge play here. So they've got the Garurumon swinging in for 2 attacks next turn. So it's going to take more than 2 blockers, essentially, to hold that Garurumon off. So going to have some struggling here to figure out what to do. With that Pride memory boost, they could go for a rush from Darkdramon and then hybrid for game. That would get them 4 swings, and that would take game, assuming there's no Hammer Spark or anything like that in security. Counting out, looks like that Hagirmon doesn't count. Uh-oh. Well, that's a misplay there. I'm pretty sure there's other things in there, but definitely not a D Brigade. So, yeah, bit of an awkward one there. That Hagirmon, yep, still see it. All right, put the blocker on top, it looked like. And swinging in, we'll dive for the on deletion here. Trigger. Play out the blocker, of course. Still pointed right at the Garurumon. Like, come on. Come on, guy. Dang YouTubers. So there's the on play there. So got a little bit of a wiggle room here. There's the Blitz Omni that they were looking for earlier. So hybrid for game right here could take it. Could take the finals pretty handedly. But not slapping it down basically says don't have it. So also the Commandramons could have swung as well. And yeah, praying for a second blocker here off of the Pride. Doesn't have it. Swing, block, and swing again. So even with the misplay, Garuru X was still able to take that, which is very, very important. Granted, they could have swung in a different order with those Commandramons. I say they, I mean me. Could have swung in a different order, had it deleted, then played out the rush. Brick City plays the Davis, turn 1. Ouch. Kicking it back over to me with Commandramon, though. Got to capitalize on this. You'd only have a fraction of a moment. When that deck bricks for a slightest moment, you have to capitalize on it in a fast format like this. Just playing out the Izzy here, though. So all black, so we'll keep it on our turn here, as well as trying to figure out, yeah, the Death X being purple-black is insane. I don't know why it's not white. That just blows my mind. Here, picking the right order of things. So you don't want to misplay or anything like that. And then going to hard play out the 4 cost, which is fine because you still put the opponent at 3 with their memory fixer. So not a bad play here. We're seeing the Gabu X come down for a draw and then goes into the Cool Boy to dig a little deeper. Trying to find any sort of big plays here. Goes for the Hammer Spark here to put them to 2. So then they can go into the Guru and draw a card, keep it on their turn, and then goes into the Garurumon again with no battle protection. Very risky, but again, you're already a turn behind. You got to make it count here. Swings in with the Decoy, survives, has the reboot underneath, which is so good. Of all the ones to survive, the ones that have the Missimon with reboot underneath, those are the ones you want to survive. So here we're going to see another Decoy getting hard played. And then evoing into the Jamming Sealsdramon, getting an extra draw there, setting up for some good future plays. There's a Tankdramon in hand. That'll be really, really good for him. Playing out another Cool Boy, and then popping the Memory Boost as well. And then getting that search. Whiffs on the search. Ouch. Between not opening a rookie and then whiffing on a Cool Boy. That is not what you want to see here. So swings in. Does survive the check barely. Has just enough DP boost with that baby underneath. Has some memory here. Can do some pretty good stuff here. Goes with the Garuru X for the draw and the bounce. It's pretty good. But yeah, instead of swinging first, definitely a bold choice for sure. Making a good comeback here though. Hits into an Izzy though. Debating the order here, going for the on deletion and then putting the blocker at the bottom. Playing out another blue memory boost. Ouch. Picking up the Gabu. Looks like just trying to prep for another stack for the future here. Doesn't look like they've got much to capitalize with that. Guru X has no battle protection. You know, it's done some good damage already. Kind of surprised they didn't swing already, but it is what it is. Or swing a second time, I guess. Just going to play out the Gabu to pass turn. Very bold decision, too. Making your board super wide. You got 3 Tamers already, and now 2. Yeah, okay, so swings in there with the Guru. All right, counting out this time. Correct, actually has all D Brigade. Goes to 0. Remember, going to crash over, well, not crash, but going to run over that Garuru X, because swinging with 2 checks and has the Gabu on board. I mean, that's game. That's lethal. You cannot leave that checking 2 things on field with a memory boost and a Davis and 2 Cool Boys. Yeah, there's just too easy to pull game if you left that on board. So definitely makes a lot of sense here. And then playing the Death X anyways. Don't leave a body on field for them to build up into. Again, that's a ton of resources they have over there, between 5 memory plus potentially 2 more, going for 7 memory. Yeah, you definitely don't want to see that. And then playing out the Gabu X instead of evoing and raising area, bold decision, I would say here. They are going to start building up into another stack, though. So there's where you see the Coal Boys, giving them 2 more memory. Now they're back up to 7. Yeah, it's just brutal. Absolutely brutal. I'm not sure if they paid the memory. Did I maybe? Oh, they did. Okay, yeah, they paid the memory for the. I forgot they got put to 8. So yeah, I was like, did they pay for that Gabu? Yes. Okay. Here going into the wearer. Oh man, going for a full stack here, and can't attack. Like, that's the worst part of this. Gets this massive stack. Big ol' hand size here. Going to gain 2 memory back from that MetalGarurumon. Putting them at, God, they've gained so much. They've been at, what, 9 memory total, I think, so far? Golly, more than 10. Yeah, it's crazy. Had a big turn here. Goes up into the blocker, and then is going to play the Ice Wall there, and plays the Gabu to pass turn to get popped by the Death X. Ice Wall in play, definitely going to prevent lethal. You got 3 bodies here, 2 security, but not the memory, as well as there's a blocker in your way. So yeah, that's not much you can do there. At least Death X is bigger than the metal, so you could just swing, and they're not going to block it more than likely, so you will get that free check there. No harm in it. And we do know that the Iron Fisted Onslaught is somewhere in rotation because we saw it in the previous game, so it could definitely get used here. The question is, do you use it now, or do you swing first? Okay, going into a blocker Steelsdramon. So I guess there's no Iron Fisted Onslaught in hand. I've slept since then, okay? I don't remember what was in my hand. This was a really intense game, though. It was like super down to the wire, both down to 2 security. That Ice Wall in play, just an absolute menace of a card, Ice Wall. Granted, so is Death X. But yeah, in this situation here, just going to swing and then pass. Or I guess the swing will pass it. So put them to 1, and then they'll go to 3. So now is the chance for Garuru to come back and make a big play here. Looks like they were swinging. They could get 2 checks off that metal, which I guess you have to block with the blocker, the Steelsdramon. You don't want them to get the 2 checks there. Keep yourself floating a little bit here. The opponent's down to 1 security, so you only need the Death X and the Darkdramon to take game. So choose to block here or not. Does go for the block here. Don't let those 2 checks go through, because that just leaves him so many avenues of taking game. Taking game through 2 security now with only 1 swing is a little bit more tricky, especially at 3 memory. Here, just going to swing with the rookie. Will, I believe, die? Yes, does not have, I guess, the... Yeah, because it gets the boost for being a Garurumon. Here, go into... Ooh, X antibody. Wow, okay, so the bottom deck's the Death X there, and then we'll trash the last card in security, just the Pride memory boost. Sets them to 3. Swings with Darkdramon, and I'm guessing hybrid for game here is coming down, and there it is. And look at that next card. The next card was Blitz Omnimon. With the X antibody option, they could have Blitz Omni'd on top of the metal, unsuspend, swing, and then X antibody option Evo into the Omnimon X, cleared that last security, and would have taken game. Literally a single card, a single draw away from taking that game there. Insanely close. And that's what I mean by both these decks just being a hair's breadth off of each other from being like, who is the best deck, you know? I mean, we saw multiple times, it's like, oh, if they had this, if they had that, you know, if that last card in security had been a Hammer Spark, you know, like the game would have flip-flopped the other way. They wouldn't have the memory to go into the hybrid and take hybrid for game. Like, there's multiple different things that could have factored in. Of course, that's how it always is, but I mean, these cards are run in these decks, okay? So it's like the chance was there. The chance was always there of this happening, and granted, Iron Fisted Onslaught could have been that card that MetalGarurumon checked, you know, and then just died and completely shut off that whole play. But yeah, it's just crazy how close these are back and forth. The Garuru X is pretty much standard stuff we've seen most of the time. There's not really anything too crazy, too much you can do with that. The same kind of goes for the Commandramon decks, they're pretty tight decks. There's not really a whole lot of flexibility there you can do with them, depending on what you want to do with your level 5s and level 6s. I've showed you what the version I was playing here was my featured deck last week, but I do want to just show you something I'm working on currently, things I've learned from this, as well as the day after we had another locals that, you know, we played, and I did end up losing that. Or not making my wife actually beat me with her Armor Rush deck, with my Commandramon deck. So, you know, that's just another fast deck. In a format with tons and tons of fast decks, you know, you got to be careful. And the thing that shut me down in that matchup was the Magna X was brutal, just going on top of the with the Golden Digizord, or what is it, Awakening of the Golden Knight. Yeah, just being able to place that Magna X out there is absolutely a killer. So you got to run removal for that, or else you just hard lose. So this was the original build I had in here. I did not like the Zort defeats, just because I feel like I hit them all the time with the Izzy, and it would like cancel my Izzy out, which is a huge bummer. As well as the Ultimate Flares, I ended up not liking them as much because in the mirror match, which this is a very popular deck to play against, these 4 play costs, you can't delete those. So it's a huge bummer. In the mirror match I had, they tried to ultimate flare me and it didn't do anything, as well as the decoys also protect, you know, so it's like that those wide board wipes are kind of awkward in how good they are in what they do. So ended up dropping the ultimate flares and switched over and trying this out now, minus the Pagumon. I like the Missimon too much. That reboot is so good. It gives me just a whole nother free check. A lot of times it's crazy how often you survive security checks with these guys, especially the ones you're swinging. They're your 4 evos, or the 0 evo 4 play cost. Those are the ones you want to go in raising area with. Like that 5,000, like that survives security a lot. As well as some stuff I'm playing around with is the Hogirmon here, just for more draw power, just being able to hard play that and get some draws as well. I believe I did use this in the other deck as well with the ultimate flares. And then some other things I'm just kind of toying around with is also I bumped up the Death X, because Death X is actually a pretty good counter to a lot of stuff right now. So 3 Death X, which is a freaking travesty. I hate it, but it is what it is. Also trying out dropping down the Tankdramons in the Darkdramons, the level 6 here. The Tankdramons are great. The new Darkdramon, a little less so. I mean, 9 times out of 10, you just want to go into the original, just, you know, 3 cost rush. But the 0 Evo and then getting out a free body and like 2 attacks is really good. It's just, it's a whole lot to build up into, so it doesn't always happen. And you really want to go Tankdramon on top, the new Tankdramon on top of the new Sealsdramon, going on top of the OG blocker Sealsdramon. Like at that point, it's like, well, I want that rush, you know, like that's the whole point of doing that combo, is get the rush. So I don't know, but if you're going to run 4 Tankdramons, I really feel like having 6 level 4s makes a lot of sense. At least it does to me. 4 level 4s and then 4 level 5s doesn't to me, not counting the Grumblemons, because it's like hybrid for game is just like its thing. I don't want to ever evo my Grumblemon on top of a Commandramon. Like that just feels like sacrilege. I guess it could come up though, but it hasn't so far for me. But yeah, this is the deck I'm working on now. Iron Fisted Onslaught being super powerful against those Garurumon X decks. So any kind of big stack decks like that, as well as something like Grandis is also still pretty popular. Iron Fisted Onslaught, you know, working really good against those decks. So ended up bumping that up. And again, the decoy protects the Commandramons. So big board wipes is kind of awkward. It's not actually as good as I was anticipating it was. Like Death X is still okay, but again, they can just decoy and protect. Same with like Crimson Blaze and you know, all those other big wide board removal options. The decoy is so good. I underrated it in my original deck profile, but yeah, the decoy is so clutch. It just shuts down, because everyone's going to be doing all these hard counters, and having that the counter to the counters, super important. So still like the deck though. I can't figure it out. This meta is complicated, which I love. I can't figure it out. Okay, it's definitely a fast deck that's going to be like key. It's going to be a fast and consistent deck. So a deck that doesn't need to evo into this massive stack most of the time, or if it does, it needs to have insane consistency pieces, like the X antibody decks have those consistencies, because they got the 0 evo cost on top of each other that just gives them like basically double draws, and then the cool boys as well to give them even more draws as well as more dig power. Like, those are the only big stack decks I like in this format, because whether that's Garuru X or War Gray X, both of those feel really good because they're basically doing the same thing, just in their own unique way. And I feel like those are good. Armor Rush still feels really good because it only evos into the level 4, so like it's pretty consistent as well. It doesn't need a big evo stack. Commandramon's super good as well. And then any deck that can just recover beyond belief, I love my security control decks. That's also in a really good position. So man, it's a tough nut to crack, this format. If you've got any good insight for me, definitely put it in the comments section below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Try and get to that 5K. I would love to hit 5K before Nats, so I can unveil my new 5K mat for you guys, that I will be taking to Nats, as well as whoever our 5K subscriber, when we do our giveaway, all of our subscribers will have a chance to get the same mat that I use at Nats.